Hey everyone, we're Katie and Jordan, and welcome back to Between Flights. If you love travel tips, trip planning, and seeing how we make the most of our PTO, you're in the right place. People always ask us how we're able to travel several times a year while working full time. So today we're going to show you exactly how we plan every trip, from choosing where to go, to booking flights, to finding places to stay, and using points to save money. Today, we're going to take this opportunity to walk you guys through how we plan all of our trips.
Every year, me and Katie take turns picking trips. Last year, Katie picked her trip, and this year, it'll be me picking my trip.
So every year we rotate. So for our honeymoon, I picked Greece, and then for our 1 year anniversary, Jordan picked Japan. This last year I picked Ireland and Scotland, and then now today we're going to talk about the fourth trip we're going to go on. That's going to be Jordan's top pick. And in the fall every year, we usually take a trip within the U.S. So we do the same thing there. So this year it's my turn to pick, and I have picked Utah, which we will also talk about how I'm planning that trip as well.
Once we have our destination picked out, we normally don't book anything just yet. We like to do a lot of research. I like to do a lot of if I'm staying in a hotel, I like to look in the area and see what's close to our hotel. You don't want to stay on the other side of town and then have, one of your things that you want to do be, a pretty good trek or a journey. Whenever we're on vacation, normally time is of the essence. Since I'm booking China, that's the destination that we're going to be going next. I like to do figure out my hotels, figure out my flights, trains if I'm going to be taking a bullet train or anything like that. China is going to be completely different from whatever trips that we've taken in the past. They do things a whole lot differently. Um, so I like to look in the area that I want to go. I think we're going to be starting in Beijing first. Once we start in Beijing, I want to see if I can get a hotel near everything I want to do, and make sure my credit card points, depending on partner hotels for which credit card that I use, to make things cheaper on us. And to the flight to get to China, I have to figure out and do some number crunching on if I can get us a better deal.
And then, so like I said, in the fall, I'm planning on going to Utah. So I've been doing kind of the same thing. I've been looking at. We want to go to Moab National Park. So I've been looking at places to stay around that area. That way, we can stay close to all of the hiking destinations that we want to try. I really want to stay in one of those glass dome glamping things. So if you guys have any recommendations, please put those in the comments. But we've just been looking at different hiking destinations, different trails that we want to go on, and just things that are all close within that area. And then the same thing for our flight there. We're going to fly there and rent a car once we get there. So I'm trying to track down different kinds of flight deals and things that I can use my credit card points with. That way that we can make this small trip. Because usually in the fall we only book trips that are like 3 or 4 days long. So we're planning to fly down there since it's such a long drive to get there. So just trying to find the best flight deals for us. That way we don't have to spend as much money on this short of a trip.
Using our credit card points, we sign-on bonuses and stuff like that really help. Starter credit cards. I mean, you can look up 1,000 videos and get like a good lineup. I don't really recommend. I mean, it's really hard getting multiple credit cards. A lot of people don't have a whole lot of self control. It is hard for me. I have three, technically four. I have four, and it's really hard, or it's really easy to just run up a card and try to get as much points as possible. Normally, with me and Katie, we like to, buy stuff on the credit card, whether it's food, groceries, gas, etc., and pay it off in full, to where there's no interest on it. As soon as you pay it off, it's you're done with it, and we save up our points. We don't really use points. The only things we use points for is travel. Don't ever use your points for sometimes Amazon will tell you that you can get points for off of your order in Amazon. That's a waste of points. Me and Katie strictly only use points for travel. Uh,
So, for example, like we have travel credit cards that are that complement what we're trying to book our stuff for. So, like for example, I have an Amex Gold card paired with an Amex Hilton card, so that I use my points that I earned from my Amex Gold card to book flights, and sometimes hotels. But then I also have my Hilton Amex card that I use to help book our hotels more so. So we've been trying to stay at Hilton's. That way we get it's 7 times points if you stay at a Hilton. So we get more points for staying there, but we also got a sign on bonus for it. So if I spent so much within 6 months, I got 80,000 points, plus a free night at a Hilton. So just being able to pair certain cards together gives you more benefits. So that's what we've been doing to also help kind of downplay the amount that we're having to pay for our trips. That way, we're not really spending that much. We're spending all of this money on our credit cards for things that we were already going to buy. So, like Jordan said, groceries, gas, um, things like that. And it's giving us points towards our travel so that we don't have to pay as much when we go to book our trip.
Once we get everything like booked, normally we we put an itinerary together. Like for us, we plan trips out like a year out in advance. So we normally start off by like normally doing like one thing a month. Once all that is caught up and done, we like put together our itinerary. You can use we've used one in the past. I have a friend of mine that uses EF Ultimate Break, I think is what it's called. Uh, you can use those two, but the thing about those is due to like you don't really like I mean it's nice because everything is booked for you, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to be with the group. Sometimes you can go away from the group, or you can stay with the group the whole entire time, just depending on the kind of travel you are. But you don't really get the opportunity to like use your points, which I mean, it's not like a bad thing. Like saving points is nice, but the only thing that you'd really be using your points for is getting yourself to your destination. So like if I did that for China, I would just be using points to get us to, from America to China, and our hotels would be booked due to the uh, the travel itinerary guide that you can buy online. But they, I mean, they take care of everything. They take care of, if you're going to like a national park, normally whenever you pay for that thing online, it's already included. So that national park tickets is already included with your stuff, and they'll keep it for you and stuff like that. So it's really like nice, worry free. Like if you're not like a really good like itinerary put together and like don't want to like actually plan out stuff, you can buy prepaid packs that's like however much money, which it'll be a little expensive depending on who you're going through.
So we have used both of these things in the past, and then sometimes we make our own Canva itinerary, like I've talked about in one of our previous videos. Um, it kind of just depends for us as we're looking through these things, which one is going to work better for us. So if we're able to use more points on just booking the trips ourselves and make it ultimately cheaper, we try that. If we're not super sure about the area and can't exactly figure out how we want to book things, it's easier to go through something like Travel Local or EF Ultimate Break, because that way the only thing you have to think about is buying your flight to get there. So sometimes that's the easiest thing to do. If you're looking for something that you don't really just have to think too much about, you just want to pick your destination and a general idea of what you want to do, you go there. Or sometimes we want to nitpick every little thing that we're going to do. And we have certain ideas that we want to do, so we'll make that Canva itinerary ourselves. That way, I can go in and make a day by day guide, and like I make Google Maps of our day to see how close everything is together. That way we have a general idea of where we're going, what we're going to do, and but I also leave room for us to, if we find something else we want to do while we're walking around, that we have room to do that. So, after we do all of this, the hardest part comes, and that is the wait. Because we talked about how we typically plan our trips about a year to 6 months out. That way we can pay off a lot of this. So by the time we have left for our trip, it's paid off. So our trips get booked really far in advance. So then we're just sitting here waiting around to
It's
go.
the longest. Like, say you got like 3 months into your trip, 4 months into your trip. It's the longest 3 or 4 months of your life. And you will say all the time whenever you get home from work, "Man, I am ready to go on this trip," and it's 90 days away. So that's the only tough part about planning out so far ahead. But the good definitely outweighs the bad in it.
So that is all exactly how we plan every one of our trips.
It helps us keep organized. It helps us save a little bit of money, and it definitely makes the most time of our vacation. Makes it more optimized, where we can fit everything that we want to do within the time that we're there.
So if you guys have any recommendations for Utah, which will be our next trip up in October, please let us know in the comments, especially if it's about those little glamping globe things. But if you also have any recommendations for our China trip in May, please put those in the comments below too.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, put those in the comments.
So now, if you guys have any other suggestions or things that you want to see, questions that you have, things you want us to talk about, that can also be in the comments as well, or you can send us a message. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time between flights.
Line. Every Airbnb.